Hello, everyone. This is Jessie Bowen with the Become an Author podcast. And we're starting something a little different this week. We're starting a special talk with the authors. So we have the Become an Author, which really sort of streamlines, what do I need to do to become an author? And then we're talking with people that have already done it. They've made major achievements. And today we have Peter Chen. He's with us, and he is an international best-selling author, and he mailed me a copy of his book and autographed it. So, Peter, thank you, and welcome to our podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, be honored to be on your show.
Well, it is, I said that the universe has always really blessed me, and I'm highly favored because I get a chance to interview people that have impacted the world, or they know people that have impacted the world. And it's really about telling their stories. Stories are so powerful. You cannot erase history, no matter how bad some people want to do it. We must be, keeping history alive so we can remember the people that have made impact. And I know Peter's book, The Last Disciple, my memoir with Bruce Lee. Now, everyone, you heard that right, with Bruce Lee. And we know that for many in the martial arts world, especially if we go back 50 years, we just finished a book talking about 50 years in the martial arts, then you have to go back to who inspired you. And of course, Bruce Lee inspired everyone. And I know for myself, getting involved in the martial arts, I had an encounter with a person on my job, and I'd been to see the movie Enter the Dragon, and this person, he was studying something called Taekwondo karate, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew what Bruce Lee did to all those people in the movie, how he threw them around, and I'm going, oh my God. So Bruce Lee was my inspiration to start studying the martial arts after seeing his movie, and someone wanted to beat me up. And I didn't want to, at 21, I didn't want to get beat up anymore. So, I enrolled in a martial arts class, but it goes back that Bruce Lee inspired me. So it is great to have you on our program, because in your memoir, you talk about the relationship that you had with Bruce Lee. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Again, Peter is an international best-selling author, and this is his memoir book. So, we're launching a program, and it's really about how to write a memoir. And so you can, follow us and keep in touch. But Elite Publications, and this is who sponsor our show. I am the publisher for Elite Publications. But we're going to have a really big push on your memoir. If you got something you want to share, then that is to do that. So, Peter, tell us a little bit about your story and, of getting involved, getting to know Bruce Lee. So why don't you share that with us?
Okay. When I first heard of Bruce is in 1962 in Hong Kong. I was going to school in St. Francis Xavier College, same as Bruce did. He was senior. He was a few years before me. So those years, there's a lot of fights between different schools. At the time, there's a couple main style always try to prove who's better. One is Wing Chun and one is Choi Lei-Fut. Okay, so there's a couple of schools that after they finish classes, and that's when everybody go on the roof and get into a fight. See who which style is better. Okay, and that's when I first heard of Bruce. Is he learned 3 months of Wing Chun, and he and Wang Sunliang went to Kowloon City and beat everybody up. At the time, I had a choice to either study Wing Chun or Choi Lei Fat. But after I heard what Bruce Lee did, so I chose Wing Chun. And also at the time, my brother also studied Wing Chun. Our Sifu is Choi Seung Tin. At the time, those years, Yiman had 7 students, and Choi Seung Tin is number 5. And later on, he's known as the king of Xiulin Tao. Xiulin Tao is the first you want to call it, kata of Wing Chun, and also the most important one. Okay, so I only studied for about 6 months, which is 17, and then I left for Australia in 1962. I think March or April, we went to Australia, go to school, and I was there till September. In 1963, I went to San Francisco and I go to school in United States. And my brother was already there. And then in December of 1963, my brother got a call from Howard Cho. So Howard Cho is the son of Cho Datwa. Cho Datwa means Hong Kong actor, with Bruce's father, in the same business. So so the next generation, Howard and Bruce, and Howard's sister Pearl and my brother, they hang around together because Howard and my brother is schoolmates. Okay, and that's how the relationship is a bit different already because of that. So Howard, when my brother came to the States in 62, I went to Australia and Howard went to London. So we all split up in a way. And then when I moved to, United States in 63 September, and during those couple of months, just go to school and go to work. In December of 1963, my brother got a call from Howard from London, and he said, "Hey, Bruce is teaching in Oakland. He have a school there. So why don't you go pay him a visit?" So my brother turned to me and said, "Hey, do you want to go visit Bruce?" I said, "Of course. Heard so much about him. Of course, I love to meet him." And that's when I first met Bruce. Is 1963 December at James Lee's house. That's when I met Bruce.
Wow. And everyone, for our listeners, if you're just tuning in to us today, we have international best-selling author Peter Chin, and he is with us today sharing his book, his study, The Last Disciple, my memoir with Bruce Lee. And this is really great. I was introduced to Peter by Sifu Jack, and he's out of Las Vegas. And we're going to be in Las Vegas next weekend with the Who's Who in the Martial Arts. Now, he's my guest today, but he's also being inducted into the Who's Who in the Martial Arts Hall of Honors for his contributions to publishing in the martial arts. So, we take that as a really big deal, celebrating martial artists for what they're doing in that. And again, the author category is one of those categories that we actually that we have that is available. So again, for all the Bruce Lee fans, and everyone is a Bruce Lee fan. And when we think about our memoir, and Peter, this is really great because without this, it's a lot lost about the people that really connected with Bruce Lee. And this is the reason why, writing a memoir, being able to share, this is why it's so important in there. So go on and share some more with us about Bruce. I marked a couple things in your book here, but go ahead and share some things with us that you feel that would be great for our listeners to be able to hear about your journey with Bruce Lee.
My journey with Bruce Lee is the bottom line. I want you to look at the cover of the book. This, if you look carefully, okay, all Bruce Lee's book, they came out missing one thing. If you look at Bruce at that picture, that's the real Bruce. His smile, okay? He had that smile. Is like, hey, don't call me, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he been through it all. He was really a bad boy when he was young. People don't know about that. They don't understand about the street fights in Hong Kong. He was the worst of the worst, okay? So that's why his father had to send him to the United States. So once he landed in Seattle, he's a complete change. Become a really good boy at the time. So people don't understand, like, oh, Bruce never fight, never compete. I mean, he did all that back in the late 50s, okay? So that's the most missing point about people looking at Bruce. Oh, he never fight, never compete. They are totally wrong. I mean, you don't want to mess with him at all, even back in those days. I mean, if you watch, people at one point did not know about Bruce when he was a kid, he was an actor. If you watch all those movies, that's Bruce, the real Bruce. He is, how he's fun. He's smart, very intelligent, okay? And he loved to joke, okay? He's a very fun people to be around with. And that's why all this time is the good time that I have with him. Of course, we have bad time, up and down, everybody. But the good time definitely override the bad time,
Well, during this period of time, especially early martial arts, it was really about proving yourself. Only the strong shall survive.
Yeah.
And that was. I wasn't quite there at that point, but I'd been on several occasions that, with my teacher, you badmouth someone, and next thing you know, that person's standing in the middle of your dojo floor, and so there was a whole level of integrity, about toughness, about testing your technique, the secrecy of your technique. We didn't have these really nice martial arts schools like we have today. All the windows was blacked out because nobody wanted to see what you were doing because it was a great secret. And I tell everyone it all changed because of video cameras. Video cameras sort of changed everything because you couldn't hold a secret. I remember going to I did the Japanese form Basadai and Okinawan weapons, and I was winning and I was doing great. I came to a tournament, come to Pete, and another guy was doing my same form exactly like I was doing it. Then we got ready to go to the weapons competition. He was doing my weapons competition. Right. He had videotaped me and he was mocking my forms. He didn't win, but that's what, your special secret was a secret because, we were talking about this was before video cameras. If you had something, then you had Super 8 or something like that. And this was a proving time. I write a lot of legacy books and and details. And I'm asked sometimes, well, why do you do all that? Because number one, I'm very interested in legacy. I'm very interested in the stories. And so when I come back and I look at my own legacy or my own, and this is a great thing for people to ask themselves, where did you come from? Who's your teacher? Where did your teacher come from? And that's why Ancestry is one of the most searched websites, because people want to find some record that's not there about who their grandparents were, who were their relatives, or who they are. So we've taken that same approach, and you've done the same thing here with your memoir. You have captured that time and that energy, and now that your book is around forever. Once they go up on Amazon, these other platforms, they don't come down. And plus, when you think about a book, you think about something that's passed all the way down to our kids. Now, I look at and the reason why I really enjoyed talking with you, because my legacy of who I am as a martial arts and who I train with and who influenced me, because Joe Louis was a student of Bruce Lee.
Right.
I was very fortunate to train with Joe Louis when he was in his prime. He's from Raleigh, North Carolina. So when he came into town, he trained at our Karate International dojo. And I was a green belt, brown belt, and I learned so much from him that he learned from Bruce Lee about speed, training for speed. And then, the video that you see out online of the African-American gentleman who's, Bruce was demonstrating his speed. That was Victor Moore. So my teacher received his 4th degree black belt under Victor Moore. So for myself, it sort of ties, I can connect because I can tie people and situations and say, this is my foundation. This is where I come from. And so in your memoir, that's what you're really sharing for us, is about this amazing journey with one of the legend in martial arts, and your experience in this, in your journey.
Well, in 1968, I did have a chance. They probably don't remember me. I met Joe Louis, I met Chuck Norris, and Mike Stone. Okay. Joe Louis might remember me because I think he mentioned me.
Well, he's passed away. He passed away.
No, it's been a long time. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the time when I met him, he was known as the Playboy. And then Mike Stone is always very quiet person. I met him one time. They were both they were all at Bruce Lee's house when we have a class, and Chuck Norris was there too. And I did really maybe a 30-second teaser with Chuck, because Bruce just want to have me have a feeling about the Wing Chun teaser, and that's about it. Very brief, And then I also have a chance to meet Kareem. He probably also may not remember me. I only met him one time. Me, Bruce, and Kareem went to Chinatown. I remember the name of the restaurant. It's called Phoenix. And I even remember the dish that he had. And certain thing you don't remember. I don't know why. And he's shrimp fried rice. And he's a very quiet person. And then when we finished, went to his car. His car is a Malibu. Okay. And there's no bad seats. And his front seat is all the way to the back. That's how tall. He's really tall, It was so funny when you walk into Chinatown, the two Chinese walking between this tall, gentleman. It's funny. So, certain thing I just don't remember. I mean, after all this, it's hard to believe in 1968, So it was all good, for me.
So we think about in your book, you talk about, Bruce's his blinding speed, So let's talk about that, because that was one of his trademarks. And that was one of the things that I got from my training experience with Joe Louis was, it was about about having this speed. In fact, I had developed my hand speed to the point that I would go into competition and I could strike someone and the referees wouldn't call it. They're going like, and the other guy was going, oh, it was like, it's like in a movie, like you just hit me, you didn't see that. But let's talk about that speed training.
The speed actually come from your core, right? And everything is from your core, your abdominal muscles, okay?
Right.
And the best exercise for that, besides sit-ups, crunches, whatever you're going to do, is jogging. Because one day me and Bruce was talking and he said, Peter, if you really want to be getting into martial arts, okay, you must start jogging. And that's where the conversation come up. Because if you, the jogging is, as I say, is where you get all your stamina, your energy is all from jogging. And example, when you see the announcement, Mayweather going to fight Manny Pacquiao, what did they do? They start working out. And what did they do every morning? Jogging. They went jogging, right? So the difference between Bruce and other martial art or whatever, but because Bruce jog every day. Doesn't matter rain or shine, he jog every day. Okay. The secret of his jogging is that the last half mile, you must sprint yourself, completely blow out. Okay. And even when you're shooting movies, he still jog. That's the difference. The dedication that he, with jogging is just amazing. His number one exercise. Most people don't talk about that. None of his students talk about that. But that's the key. That's the key for his power. Okay, it's from his core. Okay, without the core, you had no power, no speed. It's a very simple thing. So that's why I try to, in the book, hope people will understand that. Okay, what you put in is what you're going to get out, because you can learn all the technique you want, but you have nothing to back it up. So your punch, if there's no power, you're not going to hurt anybody. Actually, I'm not trying to say back about Wing Chun in a way about the Iman movie. It was funny. Not the actor's fault. I always say it's the director's fault. You cannot give somebody 20, 30 punch and the guy's still standing there. What is the point? For me, you giving the guys Swedish massage.
Right.
I mean, you watch Bruce movie, boom, one punch, and it's real. That's the difference. You can feel his power, coming through from screen, the real thing. Now, I'm so happy Donnie Yen had changed. He's getting real good, in his martial art movies. I mean, he really improved so much, So the periods, I mean, it's really like it's show, which is fine, entertainment, right?
Right.
Still entertainment at the end. So as long as the audience like it, that's good. But for martial artists that actually want to learn something, you need to add your physical training in all the style that you learn. I don't care if you learn Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, everything, you must add your physical training into it to back up everything that you learn.
Right.
It's very simple.
Right. And that's the reason why, from the Okinawan Japanese side, we spend a lot of time with San Shin, and which is, the lower abdominal breathing, and how to be able to use that and the dynamic tension to sort of create that force field when you are striking that you can now project. But You're correct. It all becomes the core is a big part of martial arts. So if you don't develop the core, again, deep breathing exercises, San Shin, visualization, because martial arts, if it's taught correctly, if the instructor understands it, is so powerful because you learn the visualization part,
Mm-hmm.
you learn the breathing life part,
Mm-hmm.
you learn to set goals,
That's right.
you learn to achieve goals, and then you learn to feel good about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and that is self-confidence. So
Yes.
when you move past that, so for everything that someone is looking for, then martial arts has a component, of that. That's the reason why teaching the martial arts in the university as physical education, I was the martial arts instructor at Duke University for 29 years,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to teach, mindfulness training, the physical aspect of it, and it was very effective, and it was there for that long because the students had to evaluate the class, and
Mm-hmm.
they enjoyed the class because it was about it was that stress release of
Mm-hmm.
them finding that time that they can do something like that. And everyone, if you're just joining, with Peter Chen and his well, it's not a new book, it's been out, and we just met I guess about a couple of weeks ago, and I've got a signed copy of his book right here. And I have up on the screen where you can go to Amazon and you can purchase a copy of his book. Now, if you study the martial arts, then you really have to, you want to study the people. So it's not just the art, but who are some of the people? What are some of the things they've done? And that's what we do in with our Who's Who books and the publications that we do, is giving people an opportunity to be able to understand martial arts, the martial artists, discover the value of the martial arts. We just released on yesterday the new book, which is the AMAA Legacy Global Biography book. And this morning I get up and the book is #1 hot release in the teen and young adult books. And I'm excited about that because that's who we're trying to reach. If we can get the younger generation to now learn about who are some of the people that inspired you, with a book. So it's important what you've learned, who you are, your story is important, because reading a book can actually change your life. Or magazine. I remember the very first day I started my martial arts class, I had not seen the word karate. I knew what Bruce Lee was doing. It was martial arts, but then I started learning about karate. Somebody at my church was studying karate, but I hadn't seen the word karate. Someone said,
Mm-hmm.
you had not seen, where were you? But I saw a that first day of class as I was walking out the store, I glanced the word karate. It's like if you don't, you never see a red car until you buy a red car, and everybody's got a red car. But I saw the word karate and I picked up the magazine. And inside that first cover was a picture of Chuck Norris holding a giant trophy cup and a little old lady, him in his uniform. I knew at that very moment, not 5 years later, that very moment, I wanted to be a karate champion.
Mm-hmm.
So the power of books and images, and as I'm going through your book and understanding your story, and if you're a Bruce Lee fan, you want to know and get to know more about that. So let's talk about, I understand, here you talk about the bond, the relationship that you and Bruce Lee that you developed.
Oh, actually, because we both from Hong Kong, and I went to the same Catholic school, and then I'm the only student that actually studied Wing Chun. Uh, so when I connected with Bruce, uh, there's a neutral, how to say, a click right
Mm-hmm.
away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and my maybe because also the relationship of Howard and my brother and Pearl. So Bruce, like it's like it's a family thing, sort of, on a little bit different than other student. The relationship, the beginning, okay, and after that, when I five. Oh, so how to go back is that during the meetings, 63, I told Bruce I might move to Los Angeles in 64. He said, "Oh, I'm going to do a demonstration in Long Beach." Okay. He said, "If you have a chance, come take a look, my demonstration." So I did go. So when he did that 1 inch punch, so I
Mhm.
know, my goodness, I say he's the one. He's going to be something. So I didn't try to contact him then because he already know that he's going to do Green Hornet. He's uh, you know teaching celebrity and so on. So I didn't try to contact Bruce. So in 1960, during those periods, 64, 65, 66, I also in show business. I was like show business too. So I was in the Screen Extra Guild and SAG during those years. And also during those years, I love to dance too, forgot to say. That's important, okay? Bruce was the cha-cha champion of Hong Kong, okay? And I also love have some dancing lesson in cha-cha, bossa nova. I don't know if you know about that, those Latin dancing.
Mhm.
And I also study modern jazz, and I also have a few months of ballet. Ballet is very good. I definitely like to see all the martial arts class add a little bit of ballet to get the stretching and discipline of the movement. You know,
Right.
you never know. I mean, I'm just saying out loud, but that's what I like. Me and Bruce, we have some common. We love dancing too. Okay, so during that 64, 65, 66, as I said, I didn't try to contact Bruce because I feel like he's a different level. You know, I'm only an extra, and he's already a co-star. You know, and then in 67, I think sometime in the late 67, I was working on Star Trek. I was extra in the studio. So during the break, when I walk out the studio, and I saw Bruce in the Green Hornet outfit, I said, "Oh my goodness!" I ran over there and say hello to him, and he said, "Oh, how you doing, Peter?" I'm saying, "I'm doing fine." I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Oh, this is my last week of promotion for Green Hornet." And I said, "Oh, I know." I said, "Really love to study with you, but I couldn't afford to pay." He said, "Those years he already charging $100 an hour. It's a lot of money." So he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Next week I will start private class in my house. Um, why don't you come over and teach you as a friend?" It's like, I say, "Wow, I can't believe what he just said." So he gave me the phone number, and I call him, get the address, and I just how start learning from Bruce in
Mm.
the last month of 67, and then get into 68, you know, uh, with the private class. The private class is only three people. Is Ted Wong, Herb Jackson, and me.
Mm.
So every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So
Wow.
that's the story.
So everyone, get a copy of the book. You can go to Amazon, and remember, this is the last disciple, my memoir with Bruce Lee. And so go to Amazon, get a copy of it. And Peter, this has really been great. Thank you. I'm excited
Mhm,
to actually get a chance to meet you next weekend at
mhm.
the Who's Who in the Martial Arts. And you're going to be doing some book signings there. So if you're in Vegas, stop by and check us out. If you are coming to Vegas as a part of the Who's Who event, we've just got a whole weekend, especially that Saturday, of seminars going on. And hey, check out the 8 o'clock seminar. I have a chance to do a seminar with my great friend, Dana Abbott. We both study sword training. And now he is the man, and I'm just a sidekick. But he's a writer, he's an author, he's a corporate coach. So we're going to be doing a training program and integrating martial arts and the pen, and that's writing. So you don't want to miss that. That is going to be a physical training plus a lecture seminar. And then we got Cynthia Rothrock, we got Bill Wallace, Mr. Wilson, we got Daryl Henderson, he's going to be there. And so we've got a lot of martial artists that's going to be doing it. Then, of course, Saturday evening, we have the awards presentation. So we have a lot of great things going on. Now, get a copy of the book, our new book, which is the AMAA Legacy book. This is our global book, and it's bringing in people from around the world to be a part and share their bios. But not only their bios, the question that we ask, how has martial arts impacted your life? So it's really like a giant testimony book. We have, there's over 100 people that are sharing their stories in the book. And again, Peter is one, is going to be recognized as a contributing author to the martial arts. So this is going to be happening. So we got a lot of great things going on. Peter, any last words?
Yes, I just want to let people know my book was translated into Chinese, and it was the first book that ever accepted by the Shaolin Temple into the library in their 15 years history. The first one. So
wow.
Even the Chinese Shaolin Temple agree what I wrote in the book.
And Bruce's wife, she wrote the foreword, right?
Yeah, Linda wrote the foreword. I mean, beside the foreword, Linda, he added the book for me. I was very lucky. So if anybody disagree what I say in the book, they can talk to Linda.
Oh, well, listen, nobody, definitely not, they're not going to, if they get a chance to meet you, they know that, you can see truth in you. So we're really excited. Again, thank you for sending me a copy of the book. It's an honor for the American Martial Arts Alliance for us to recognize you. And remember, martial artists, we are launching our memoir program, and that is to help martial artists write their memoir, or anyone. It's not Jess, but since I'm a martial artist, a big part of our community, but being able to tell that story. And I know you think it's really complicated, but we have a great team of writers, a great team of editors. This is book number 11 of the Who's Who in the Martial Arts series. This is our 5th book this year. And again, this book has already hit #1 hot release. And next week, it will be going for the international launch. Will start on next week. So, it's a great book that we have coming out. Go to the website, get a copy. You can actually get the Kindle copy for only $2.99. And that is a great deal. You got someone with a birthday coming up. Hey, guess what? A Kindle is a perfect gift to give someone, especially a martial artist, something they can treasure. Also we have the soft cover and the hard cover of the book. All of that is up on Amazon. So remember to check it out. Well, everyone, this is Grandmaster Jessie Bowen. I am the host of the Become an Author podcast. And our new program we're starting is to talk with the authors, getting their insights out. Also check out TakeCenterStage.org. That's TakeCenterStage.org. That is our awards program that we've launched to honor martial artists, for not only martial artists, but individuals who have written books and help to promote their books. So check it out. If you're thinking about writing a book, remember, reach out to elitepublications.org. That's www.elitepublications.org. Set up a free opportunity for me to share all the information I know about how to be able to publish a bestseller book. Everyone, this is Grandmaster Jessie Bowen saying thank you. And guess what? We'll see you next week.